Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a very special occasion, purely for your entertainment tonight. We are your hosts, Lionheart, Mike Nikos, and I'm here with
the Executioner, Michael X.
And welcome to
Open Mike Night.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another installment of Open Mike Nights. We are your hosts, Lionheart Mike Nikos, here with
the Executioner, Michael X, and we're here for another night of so much great conversation. And by great, I mean we're talking about the cringiest writer in the video game industry at this current moment.
The progressively
dumb,
inarticulate, and embarrassing writer that has come into our radar, Neil Druckmann. Now, of course, we did go on lengths on talking about Neil Druckmann in other Indie Force episodes. James has compiled an entire nimbus, as he likes to call it, where
the
all we do is
omnibus.
talk shit about, the omnibus, where all we do is just talk shit about Druckmann. But you could say that this video is particularly like a part 2 to follow up from.
I call this the end.
Yeah.
At this point, this is going to be the end to that whole thing. I think that we've absolutely said our piece as much as we possibly have, but we want to go over, because we do know that people do have questions of why are we saying as much shit as we are about them. Well, we have a lot of evidence for that. A lot of evidence.
Some of it comes from other YouTubers that try to slam Druckmann, and we try to credit it for that. Like, for instance, the satirical but factual YouTube channel, Pimp Master Broda, has brought striking evidence of Naughty Dog and what Druckmann been doing to do his darndest to break down that company into little tiny bits. And wow, it's failing spectacularly.
Here's the problem, and I know a lot of people are sitting there going, well, you're giving this game too much of a hard time. I mean, we are, to an extent. I mean, the gameplay is very well. The game is very well put together. There aren't that many problems when it comes to how it plays, how the characters are designed, well, except for one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not going to bash the game as a whole for everything that's going on, but I will not allow a writer on this caliber, because he has written good material when he has somebody sitting next to him looking at his goddamn work. And for those people that are saying Neil Druckmann is a genius, why don't you wait a couple seconds and we'll tell you how he isn't.
Yeah, this is one of those games where he's been trying to do it by himself, where he thinks he doesn't need any help. But it's as equivalent as letting a 5-year-old do his own English homework, where once you read it after it's been graded, it's really incohesive, but you're just trying so hard to not let him hear the bad news.
Listen, let's be honest, you gave a toddler power tools. And something fucked up happened, because of course it did.
And now he's in the corner crying where you should be, because your power tools that you use are now broken.
Yes. So, really quick, Last of Us 2. My God, this game has been critically panned. Super hard. And Metacritic, by the way, really deleting people's fucking personal scores about these games.
Yeah,
come on.
That's a new low for Metascore. And lately, yeah, they're basically just relying on other organizations to really amp up the score of a game that looks stunning, but basically nobody cares at all about what the Metacritic or what other corporations have to say, because again, they're corporations. They've already received a copy earlier from the game. They've tested it out, and of course, in every video where they explain the game, they don't want to give a spoiler talk about it. That's where it leaves up to the user views, and when you see the views tank down by the people who've actually played the game, Metacritic is all right, we need to make sure this game is actually on the same level as games like Final Fantasy VII Remake. So let's just delete those user comments and make sure this game is really, really spectacular.
And
but
here's
oh
the
my
whole
god.
thing. This game has a 94 score. This game is getting hundreds from specific people that are the graphics, the lighting. It's like, yeah, but you're talking about the problem, which is the story. Everybody's having a problem with the thing that you're coming for. Absolutely. I've always said first that graphics don't make the fucking game. It's very good gameplay that makes you feel like you have no limitations on what you can do. And graphics absolutely do help.
It feels like you're watching a movie at times
even
though it is a video game, this game does not offer a whole lot of gameplay. Like, yeah, the scenes and cinematography for the game is nice, but when you're given like a small amount of time to actually play the game, it just kind of feels useless.
Well, it's also the fact that I know a lot of people are going to be sitting there going, well, I mean, people could just buy the $60 edition. Well, here's where the problem comes in. You're not going to guess what's going on when it comes to these small things, especially when they go, hey, there's a $100-something edition. And this is a problem with gaming in general. I think that this is fucked up at the beginning of all of it. Don't buy a copy of a game like the collector's edition of it and sell it on eBay from $248.99 to $450.
You're overpricing something that shouldn't even be overpriced. It's literally unfair, and it's just unethical.
I think that it should be, if you are going to a store and buying an item, right?
Yeah.
Let's say, I'll give an example with something that's a little bit more obvious. Let's say I go and buy a t-shirt. Usually a t-shirt is between $15 to $20. We'll say it's a $20 t-shirt. You can buy it anywhere. But this one has something that no other has. Or at least it's what I'm going to write on my eBay and have it go from a $20 t-shirt to a $120 t-shirt. Does that seem really fucking stupid?
Yeah.
Because it is. I don't care how good you think your game or how much you think people are going to be pandering to get that collector's edition. When you price it at $450, you're just out of your fucking mind to begin with. But anyway, so Neil has been caught as of recent with some more bullshit surrounding him, such as the fact that one of the sex scenes in the game might have been done by him, specifically by himself. And
this is the part
sad animator that had to animate that whole fucking thing.
I did reference this in the last Indie Force episode where he was in the game. I didn't explicitly talk about it because I didn't have enough information to, but now that I do, oh boy. So, the Abby sex scene. Apparently, Druckmann couldn't find actors to do the mocap because why would they? It literally should not exist because it has no need to exist. But hey, Druckmann decided he wants to live out his fantasy because Anita Sarkeesian can't give it to him. So he mocapped both as Abby and her ex-boyfriend Owen. And like you said, Mike, literally forced an animator to mess that shit together. It's his wildest fantasy come true, and good lord, it completely backfires.
Neil, just be honest, you're gay. Just say it, you're gay.
And if he's not, he's a simp for Sarkeesian.
Probably the second bit there. Because, I mean, look at fucking Abby's entire design, dude.
I mean, I will say this, there are some certain scenes where Abby, in her youth, when she's, having moments with her father, she looks a little feminine. But in the moments where it's taking place in the present, a lot of YouTubers, including myself, have looked at Abby, especially her arms, and think, she is not human. Like, this is... It looks...
You know what,
healthy.
Nikos, I have a image for you that I will be sending to James very soon to give you an idea of how much they're gonna how much he wanted to change the design of this character.
Yeah, I mean, you basically said it yourself in the last episode. Like, Druckmann feels like he wants to change women based on how they dress, but why feel the need of turning them into dudes?
I don't get it. I don't get why change any of it.
The fact that she had to brag about it with her friends, like, oh, my bench press 180. Like, okay, you're still a girl. Chill.
That's a dude.
That's a dude. I mean,
that's a dude.
Yeah.
Like, that looks and acts like a dude. That is a guy.
It is.
There is no such as chicks with dicks, just dudes with tits.
I mean, don't believe us? If you're that desperate to look, watch the love scene and just judge for yourself. It's a dude. In fact, one guy playing as two dudes.
Which is even grosser.
But hey, if you're a fan of that, I guess it's good
even
for
grosser.
you. Yeah. It just, oh boy, like, again, it has no reason. It serves no purpose at all. Like, all right, we get it. They used to have a relationship. Why does it need to be taken this far? I mean, I thought this was just a simple cycle of revenge story, but no. Allie and her girlfriend did it. We gotta have Abby to do it.
Did you ever see the concept art design for Abby?
Unfortunately, yes, I have seen.
Yeah, and I actually like it more.
Yeah,
I like the concept design way more because it looks like somebody who's been dealing with bullshit for a long time.
She has.
Like, for a long time. That's a way better design completely. Like, that is, beyond a shadow of a doubt, a better character design. For more reasons.
Looking at her now, she looks like something out of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Now, to all the companies out there that are giving this a 10 out of 10 score, like this is a 10 out of 10, it's a 9.5 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, a 95 out of 100. It's a 5-star game.
No.
Take a couple steps back and get your dick away from all that cash that you're obviously making, because these are not your opinions.
These are the opinions Naughty Dog told you.
Yes. All because that's what Cuckmann told them to do. At the end of the day, everything rolls back to him. Yeah.
Like, he wants to be the biggest gaming empire. He wants to be the figurehead like Kojima. And as we stated previously, he will never be Kojima. Kojima is a master at creating cinematic masterpieces and
he's the first
cohesive and interesting gameplay in video games.
That has to be said. He's the first one to do it.
Of course.
Here's what I'll say. To all those people that go, well, Last of Us is this big critical success. Here's the thing with that though. Without a game like Metal Gear Solid 1, MGS1 for the PlayStation, for the PSX/PlayStation 1, depending on where you're from, without that game, Last of Us would not be popular.
Of course.
MGS1 is one of the most important fucking games in history. Like, beyond a shadow of a doubt, Metal Gear Solid 1 is the most important game that was blurring the lines of gameplay and cinematic movie at the same time. And it's so fucking good of a story that people still to this day are going, when are we going to get a proper remake of the game? A proper remake, get the voice actors back in to do what they have to do. Just remake it and make it look even better than Twin Snakes ever could.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that whole franchise is super good.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know somebody's going to sit there and say, well, you only like it because of the scene with Meryl when she doesn't have her pants on. And I'm going to sit there and go, yeah, maybe when I was like fucking 5.5 years old when I first played the game, and then I beat it when I was like 7. Maybe when I was like a little kid, I'm like, oh, a female character without pants? Oh, I'm all into that. And now I go, okay.
Like, all right, that exists. Didn't need to, but yeah.
It takes a lot more than that nowadays to get the old gears grinding at this point. It's like, come the fuck on. If somebody's going to sit there and say, Last of Us 2 is an incredible 10 out of 10 game, then how come MGS4 was so critically panned?
Yeah, that's going to need some explanation on that.
That is some fucking explanation then. A game with the best ending boss fight ever. And I know somebody's going to sit there and say, well, that also got 10 out of 10s when it came out. It got 5 out of 10. It got 5 out of 5s. It got 10 out of 10s, 9.9 out of 10s, 9.5 out of 10s. It was super well received. And I agree with that. I will not deny that MGS4 is super well received to the people that are promoting these games and are getting those early review copies. That has to be said. You get the early review edition of this game. I think that's fucking stupid.
It is.
I think that's ridiculous. These companies should be getting the game the same time everybody else does. They should not be getting it early. They can go fuck themselves.
I mean, it's only fair that it should be allowed to do that.
Why? That's what I don't get. I can understand if you are I hate to say this word because I think it's stupid, but whatever. If you are a YouTuber or influencer on YouTube, and let's say they wanted to hand out a couple copies, to YouTubers, but they said, you cannot talk about this game whatsoever. You can't spoil a goddamn thing at all.
Just talk about how good it is because of its predecessor.
And I know somebody's going to sit there, and I have to give this example because we are talking about Last of Us 2. Well, you like MGS4. Enough said. Horrible game. Waited for Gears of War 2 later on this year. And that was like, what, back in 2008? The guy that has to give it a 0 because he just has to give it a 0. The one of what, like 81 fucking different people out of like, I don't know, 700 different people that are giving it positive reviews. No, you got to be that 81, one of the 81 people in the world that go, no, this game sucks. It's boring. It's a wasted opportunity. There's nothing fun in the game. I don't like it. Hideo Kojima, what a way to go. What a cringeworthy writing from Hideo again. It's like, if you're going into fucking MGS4, and I have to put the example of MGS4, and I have to compare it to, obviously, Last of Us 2, because it's two games that are trying to do this whole blurring of realism and trying to turn a video game into a movie. Absolutely. Yeah. Trying to turn a video game into a movie. Whether that be 30 hours or less. However, what I will do is make my big counter here. Last of Us 2 has one problem that MGS2 never even had, which is saying a lot.
Yeah.
And here's what it is. The worst character in Metal Gear gets redeemed in this game.
While the worst character in this game is getting forgiven.
Nikos, shoot.
So, again, as what we've stated in the previous Indie Force, in the ensuing final battle between Abby and Ellie, where they're fighting in that little swamp area, and Ellie looks like she's about to finally defeat Abby. She's standing over her, she's choking her in the mud, and while she's choking her, she gets a quick flashback of Joel playing his guitar. It's like the last time she saw Joel before they were separated. And then Ellie lets go of Abby, saying, just go. And there's no dialogue, no conversation after, just Abby legit walks away. And then we get to the cutscene where Ellie meets up with Joel. They talk about her relationship with her girlfriend, Coffee, for some reason, and the whole thing that Joel has been keeping the truth away from Ellie, and she tells him, I'm not going to forgive you, but maybe one day I will. And it just leads to a whole plot where Ellie is going to track down Abby to not forgive her this time and to give her a death that needed to happen. And I'm just sitting there going, all right, well, if you were going to kill her, didn't you? Like, you killed all her friends. In the ensuing chaos that led to this moment, you could have killed her. So why did you forgive her? And then just decide, you know what? The hell was I thinking? I'm gonna kill her this time. Like, that's like Kratos in God of War 3, where after he's killed all the gods, he's killing Zeus, but right before he delivers the final blow, he tells him, I forgive you. Now go away from me. And Zeus does, and Kratos is like, what the fuck did I just do? And just starts chasing him again. Like, do you understand how nonsensical that is? Like, it serves no purpose to Ellie, who's trying to achieve her goal of getting her revenge. But she's in that moment where vengeance won't always solve everything. But you can clearly see that for Ellie, nothing is solved for her. Joel is gone, yes. But if you let go of Abby, shouldn't you be more happier now? Now that she's gone out of your life, you can actually just sit down and fight in peace. But, I mean, in a way, it could make sense. But if you're just going to set up a third game for Ellie to just go back into the woods and find Abby to finally kill her, it defeats the purpose of the whole final battle in the swamp.
Oh yeah, I got a better idea.
Shoot.
And I'm gonna have James put up this collection of shit that's going to somewhere appear in this video. So I'll say it with the line that pissed me off the first time I heard it. Of, have you met another character who has gone through more pain than Ellie?
Oh, yes. I've seen posts on Twitter and Facebook where it's just like, oh, name a character who's more broken than Ellie. I dare you, you won't.
Oh, yeah?
And we're just like, everyone in the gaming community is like, are you fucking shitting me? Hell, Kratos was the first person that came to mind.
Oh, yeah? How about Isaac Clarke? How about...
Another guy.
How about Snake? How about every character in Valiant Heart? You know, the game about World War I. The entire game about World War One?
Oh, I'm familiar with the game, yes.
Oh, how about Isaac from The Binding of Isaac? You know, the kid that gets his ass beat by his mother in all the cutscenes?
Yeah.
The main character of every Dark Souls game.
How about Clementine?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. You know, a very powerful female character that we get to watch grow up properly and isn't a fucking dumb shit who grows a consciousness at the worst possible moment.
Yeah, what is up with that?
It's both games, both Last of Us 1 and 2. Both characters just grow a consciousness at the worst fucking possible time to do so.
And then it later bites them in the ass, realizing it was a terrible mistake.
Like, I'll say this right now, and I know somebody's going to sit there and say, how dare you bash Joel? How dare you bash Ellie? Hear me out. Look at throughout the first fucking game. Look at how many people... Hear me out. Look at through how many fucking people Joel kills. Oh, and I'm not talking about shoots them from like a long distance or anything like that. How about the dude that he's beating the piss out of with a melee weapon on his back? You know, that guy. How about the amount that he's walked up and shivved somebody who was in his way? And don't forget, what's the plot of Last of Us 1 again? Somebody stole my guns. Protect little girl to get guns back.
And I'm actually shocked that point wasn't brought up again. Like, literally, the whole point for Joel to deliver Ellie to the Fireflies was so he can get his guns back that wasn't his to sell. And up at that moment where he traded off Ellie, he should be like, oh, great, I can get my guns back now. But again, he completely forgets about it. Like, that's like a whole... I'm trying to find a word for this. I want to say mulligan, maybe?
Red
herring.
Yeah, a red herring.
Completely.
Listen, Abby is a fucking Mary Sue. Because she'll survive everything that happens to her. Same thing with Ellie. Ellie's a Mary Sue. She'll survive everything that happens to her. And I know somebody's going to sit there and say, well, I'm fucking around. Relax.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to say is, and hear me out, if these characters have felt a lot of pain, and they probably have felt emotional, physical, and mental pain, the problem comes in is that you cannot give the comparison of, do you know a character who has suffered more pain? Because I can give a really good one. Really good one. That's probably one of the worst.
Go ahead.
Adam fucking Jensen.
The name escapes me.
Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Now I remember him.
The main character, what happens to him, good sir?
Oh, God.
It's
been a while, but...
He gets grabbed by the collar and gets chucked through a window. His body is riddled with glass. His arms are completely fucking destroyed. And then he gets shot in the head as the love, or was love of his life, gets killed right in front of him.
Sounds like a Frank Castle storyline, but yeah, continue.
Oh, well, actually, that's a better fucking thing. How about Dom and Marcus?
The best duo, the best bromance
in Xbox. The best bromance on the Xbox.
Yes.
It's, I don't know, how about Samus Aran, who watched her mother and father be killed by Ridley and has PTSD of that giant winged monster?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Geralt of Rivia, that's a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the Doom guy, but it's like, let's be honest though, he thrives off pain.
Rip and tear until it is done.
Rip and tear until it is done. Oh, let's see, a character who's gone through more pain and suffering than Ellie. What character has gone through more pain? Joel, the other character that's in that game.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
the first 25 minutes, he loses his daughter over some bullshit order from the military.
Oh, don't forget about the other bit where he gets his knee blown off and gets his skull beaten in with a fucking 9-iron.
Yeah, that's literally the moment where players gave up.
That's where everybody said, "Fuck this game, I'm done." As soon as you kill the main, I would have understood if you killed him halfway, maybe 3/4 way through the game.
Yeah, but in this case, it's the 2-hour mark in the game
In a
where you don't know a whole lot.
In a 30-hour game, 11 of which are cutscenes.
And the first 2 hours, Joel's killed.
First two, that's not even a quarter. What is that in a, let me do some quick math here. What would that be? What is the division on that? Isn't it like 1/16 of the game he's dead?
Yeah.
No, that would be 1/15 of the game he's dead. So throughout the 4/15 of the game, he's just not in it.
Actually, he is.
I don't count flashbacks.
Okay, then
I don't count
yes.
flashbacks.
For 1/16, he is not in the game.
Arthur Morgan.
John Marston.
Tuberculosis. Gunned down by the military. Cloud Strife. I don't know, literally watching his mother be killed by Sephiroth. Watching the love of his life die in his arms.
And get Mako poisoning.
Mm-hmm. What's another one? Let me think here. What's another good one? I'm trying to think. It's been a hot minute.
How about every character in the game Until Dawn?
How about every character in Silent Hill?
How about Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus in Death Stranding?
That's a good one. How about the Origami Killer, Jason.
Sean!
A character who has felt as much pain as Ellie. I can give a good one, and he's one of the most important video game characters of all time.
He's Master Chief.
No. I said the most important, not the most overplayed. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry to all my fellow Halo players. I'll be honest. I was gonna say him, but then I'm like, I'll backtrack that for like a minute. Gordon Freeman.
Ah, yes.
You know, a guy who was attacked by the military, a force that he's never met in his entire life, gets kidnapped, sent to a future about 10, almost 15 years later, after the Black Mesa incident, and has to deal with a whole host of new problems, getting attacked by literally the government. And aliens again.
Yeah.
Because we don't get nice things in this universe. What's another good one? Let's see. Until Dawn, almost every single character.
You have the choice to either kill them or they will try to survive as best as they can against the Wendigo, even though for some reason they all look like Gollum. But yeah, there's that. I mean, there's just so many examples of characters that have gone through so much shit other than Ellie. Like, it's a legit list. But you can't say that Ellie is the only character in gaming history that's broken.
Dude, that's what makes like some of the best heroes is the ones that are. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. The best example of a broken character. The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that one.
I understand that Ellie has gone through her bullshit, but she did not, as an 8-year-old boy on his birthday in the middle of a fucking thunderstorm, lose her parents. by having both of them get gunned down by a random criminal in an alley where he will never solve that case.
True.
Ellie will never experience. I know a lot of people are going to sit there and say, of course he brings up Batman. Of course that's going to be his retort. Of course that's going to be his rebuttal. Can you name another character that has watched their loved ones literally gunned down in front of them at such a young age?
Go ahead. We'll wait.
No, go. You know
post it in the live chat comments.
No, shoot. I want to hear it. No. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna wait. We're gonna see what people come up with because I want to hear. I want to see the examples. You want to throw out Deadpool, Frank Castle. You want to throw out Marvel characters, DC Universe characters. You absolutely can. Go through media. I want to see the best of the best appear. Because I want to prove to Druckmann that there are better narrative characters that have experienced more bullshit than his fucking main character ever will.
You take as much time as you need to. We're not going anywhere.
I wonder what James is going to edit into this. I hope it's something fucking ridiculous. James, if you're editing this during this whole thing, well, me and Nikos are trying to be as very smooth as we can. I'll be sending you a song to place into this section of the timeline. If you're cool with that, throw up like a big thumbs up on the screen. Thanks, man. I'm glad that you agree. We're waiting. Alright,
no
cool.
pressure.
Okay, cool. You know, we'll leave it right there. If you have good ones, if you have very good ones, I mean, you are willing to, you know, hit us up. Go right on one of our Twitter accounts. James will probably put it somewhere down in the description below. But it's just the fact that you can't make a main, or at least you cannot defend a main character with that alone. That doesn't help narratively. And I know we're sitting here, and I know we've been bitching about this, and bitching about this, and bitching about this, and been bitching about this for almost a solid month and a half now. And the game's only been out for like less than about, what, almost 2 weeks?
Give or take, yeah.
About almost 2 weeks now, maybe 2.5. I'm not sure. But to sit there, to fucking sit there and go, this is one of the best narrative told stories ever. I have to disagree with you because I watched the 11.5-hour story that was done by what's his name? What's his name? Because I want to give the correct credit. MK Ice and Fire. You put the whole thing up. It's about 10 hours, 57 minutes, and 15 seconds. MK Ice and Fire, if you've never heard of his channel, he's very, very good at his job.
Yes.
He's very good at his job if you're looking for. I need a recap of what the fuck happened in the previous game, and he's able to kind of put bits and pieces of gameplay in there to make it work properly.
Yep.
And hell, I don't even know if he put up the Final Fantasy VII ending when fucking Square's like, do not touch that ending, you sons of bitches. But anyway, it's more the fact that with Neil being who he is,
ignorant.
I wouldn't even say ignorant. It's just stupidity. Like, oh, well, our fan base should still purchase this game.
Well, based on certain moments in the game, I'm pretty shocked that you still have a fan base left.
Well, okay. The game is good. When it comes to gameplay, character design, how the whole world looks great. The game looks great. I won't even deny that factor. I'm not going to sit there and lie to your face and say this game does not look like a next-gen title on a previous-gen game. I won't deny that. That I would be lying to you if I said that this game didn't look good. But it's like buying a car and the fucking engine doesn't work.
Only to realize that once you pop the hood and the engine, there is no engine. There's just a drawing of an engine.
No, you know what? That's a bad example. That's like buying a brand new car based on an image that you saw online. And then you get it, and it's a completely different framework. It's a completely different decal system than what you wanted. It's not even the same color. It's not even what you were expecting it to be at all. And I know somebody's going to sit there and say, well, you not always are you supposed to give the fan base what they want. Well, that's true. Unless
you're Druckmann.
Unless you're Druckmann and you completely say, fuck that shit. I get it. That gamers have been spoiled. We've been spoiled with so many good fucking characters. Just so many good characters throughout all these years. Like, I can't think of a bad one off the top of my head, and that's hard to say. That's not easy to say. But if you want to play this game, if you're interested enough to go for it, I'm not going to deny you that factor. If you're interested enough, go right ahead. But please hear me out for just a few moments. If you're going to do it, buy it online. Buy it from somebody who's obvious. It's going to be overpriced. Either way.
Yeah.
But do not give this company your money. Don't look at the Steam sales. Don't do any of that crazy shit. It's not worth it. Hear me out in its entirety. I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart as a human being that is just looking for the utmost, or at least the best intention for a future gamer, or somebody who's interested in this game. Do not buy it from like a GameStop or any of these other any of these other stores. Purchase it somewhere online, hopefully not Amazon. Get it from somewhere on eBay where it's somebody that you kind of know a little bit, or just borrow the game from a friend if he happens to have it. But don't fucking purchase it. It's not worth the money.
It really isn't.
Let's see, what's the price when this, let's go based off the deluxe edition of this game. What price would that have been when it came out?
I'm surprised there was even a deluxe edition of this game.
Oh, of course there would be. The Last of Us 2 Deluxe Edition. Because there's always a deluxe edition to give you a whole bunch of shit that you're not going to want.
I bet you it's around like $89, $99.
It's going to be way more than that, good sir. People, GameStop is selling the deluxe edition for $170.
Okay, I was way off, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Way off. Most game companies want to go very high.
Mm-hmm.
So the collector's edition gives you a replica of Ellie's bracelet. Who cares? A steel bookcase, a mini art book by Dark Horse Comics, 6 pins. You just get pins. 2 of them being Naughty Dog. One of them, if I remember correctly, is a Naughty Dog logo. Great. An art pin, shocking. Stickers, great. And a voucher for downloadable content, including PS4 dynamic theme. 6 PSN avatar characters, or avatars. A set of 6 PSN avatars, which nobody's going to use. By the way, this is the collector's edition I'm talking about right now. I haven't even got the other ones. And the digital soundtrack, including a mini art book. For you fucking hipsters out there that are like, I need to get more bang for my buck, well, you can get The Last of Us Part 2 Ellie Edition, which gives you everything from the first one, including a full-size, fully functioning recreation of Ellie's backpack, which, I could buy that on Amazon for less than $30. Oh, an embroidered patch and a 7-inch vinyl. You fucking hipster. The special edition just gives you an art book and all the digital content from the other two things. And the deluxe edition, the $80 deluxe edition that we were talking about, gives you the game, a exclusive avatar digital icon, and that's pretty much it. It gives you an ammo capacity upgrade and a crafting training manual.
Well,
so for the most
not worth my money.
So for the most expensive version of this game, we're gonna go. We'll go based off the Ellie edition of this game. I know. Somebody's gonna sit there and say, "Oh my god, stop fucking talking about this already." Hear me out. So the Ellie edition of this game being sold by GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, that's a collector's edition. The Ellie edition. Let's see, where are you? Oh.
Oh me, oh my, you have found something.
Oh, the backpacks break? There's a factory defect in the backpacks?
Well.
Ready? To buy the Last of Us 2 Ellie edition of the game, which, by the way, you're spending more money than what you really need to on this fucking game. To get, by the way, we're going to include the, oh boy, $230. You're spending $230 on a vinyl, a backpack, an art book, a game, a print with a thank you letter, because we all give a fuck about the thank you letter. Bullshit that's digital. Who cares? Stickers. Am I 5 years old? I thought that this is a rated M for mature game. Pins. Nobody cares about. A replica of a bracelet that you can probably buy on Etsy for half the price it was going to cost to make it.
Yeah.
A 12-inch statue. Okay, well, that's, what, about 40, maybe $50 for the statue?
Mm-hmm.
And a backpack. You get a backpack, a logo patch, a 7-inch vinyl, and a bunch of horse shit for $230 fucking dollars. Which, based upon my fucking calculations, you'd be spending about $20.76 a month to pay this whole fucking thing off.
Wouldn't it be easier just to go to Newberry Comics to get this shit?
Or you could just fucking go on. You know what? I'm going to... Let's see. Etsy.com. I bet if I type in The Last of Us 2, I'll be able to find all of this for a price that's half the price on what's on there. Let's see. The Last of Us 2. Oh my god. It's literally all the same shit.
For the same price?
For half the price, I was making a joke. Ellie's bracelet, the one that she wears in game, you can make for $4. The decal that people are raving over, the design set, is about $270. The pin set that is a part of that $230 collection, you can pick up on Etsy for about $25.
To all you hipsters out there, you're getting robbed.
You're getting super fucking robbed. You're spending more money on the statue than anything else. And hell, if you're like, I really like this game, you can buy the artwork, t-shirts, all the shit that the company isn't selling, including a Firefly stop sign, which doesn't exist anywhere else but on Etsy, which I think is a cool piece of, like, this is in my room, and I think it's a cool piece of art. But,
yeah, I could draw that as well and say that's a cool piece of art. I certainly wouldn't mind paying $230 on it.
Like, And that's the whole thing. I'm on a website that's for creators that want to make cool shit. That want to make shit and make money off a very good price. I swear to God, Cuckman, if you even attack these creators, I'm going to be super fucking pissed. There will be
hell.
There will be a reckoning, and it will not be swift. It will be a very long, drawn-out battle. I will counteract every fucking point that you do if you decide to go after the Etsy creators, because they are good at making good-looking shit.
Agreed.
Like, you get what the fuck are you getting for $230? $20.76 per month payment. It would take you a fucking year to pay off this game. What are you getting? What are you actually getting? Like,
you're basically getting new decorations for your room. It's not worth it.
You're getting pins, which are going to be on your bag, on your Ellie bag. Stickers that you're going to forget about or probably lose. A vinyl, which... do you know anybody besides people over the age of 45 and hipsters that fucking use a vinyl record collection or even need a vinyl record collection to play vinyl records? Exactly. Like, where's the creativity? Where's the cool shit? Even Fallout 70... Oh, no, actually, I'm not even going to give that fucking example because that's even a worse one. I think that if you're a content creator or somebody here on YouTube and you're trying to figure out, what should I do? Don't do this. Don't do the Cuckman strategy of how they want to... Don't follow what Naughty Dog's been doing, and don't follow Neil the Cuck Fuckman, because it's not helping anybody.
It really isn't.
Like, I got into gaming, and my hobby is being a gamer for the fact of, yeah, I know it's an expensive fucking thing, but it's something I enjoy. I like being a part of interesting adventures and stories and really cool shit. But
agree.
But you're not getting your fucking $60 value as much as you think. And yes, the gameplay is going to be very good, and yes, the graphics are going to look incredible because it's done by people that are very talented on that front, and I will not deny that they're fucking talented, because to deny that factor means that you're an idiot. To sit there and only pull that out is ridiculous, but it has to be said that a content creator, somebody that is on a platform of any type of media, does not have the right to create a piece of work that nobody cares about. And has the right to sell political beliefs to people. You shouldn't have the right to fucking do that. I think that that's fucked up.
Sure.
You should not have the right on this platform or any other. Don't care what your job is by day or what you do at night. You do not have the right as a human being, or at least should have the human decency, to look at your work and go through it a couple times before you finalize. I mean, for fuck's sake, that's what we've been doing. I know people have been wanting updates on what the fuck's WIW been doing, besides the fact that we've had to take about a 3-month break because of everything that's been going on in the world right now.
True.
We've just
been... suck, but yeah, it's the shit that we have to deal with. And we trust us. Your patience will be well rewarded. Once this whole thing calms down, we'll be getting right back to work with this.
Exactly. And I'll say this quickly so that way you're not asking questions anymore. Or at least not asking questions of where the fuck are they doing? What the fuck's going on? Why haven't they given anybody an update? I've been waiting for months now and I haven't heard a goddamn thing, and I hate the fact that we've had to do that. We've been focusing on this podcast for a while. On the multiple podcasts that we are, because I want to get back to working on something that I absolutely love doing. And I'm not saying I don't like doing the podcast, but I love making something that people do enjoy. I don't care about the money. The WIW has never been about money. And if somebody
So
ever
is
asks
this
that question,
podcast.
we have never done any of this for money because if somebody even says you have made my day better just by making what you've made, that will give me enough time to keep going. That will keep me going. That's all I need. But this motherfucker, Neil the Cuck Fuckman, this piece of human garbage, is looking at his fan base and going, well, if you were really a fan, you would buy the most expensive version of our game. And you know you would. But that's only for fans, right?
And if you talk shit about it, then we'll abuse the DMCA and get you off the fuck. Which, again, is an abuse of your power. Just because someone doesn't like your work doesn't give you the right to get them off your platform just for having an opinion. People have opinions. You may not like it, but hey, everyone is entitled to it. You shouldn't feel upset that everyone says that your game's garbage just because it's your idea. It's not our fault that you didn't get enough time to proofread this bullshit right before you released it. And
Agreed.
now you're just feeling so ignorant that you had no idea this was going on, saying, oh, it's so frustrating for me. I've never had this done before. It's the worst day of my life. Dude, you had 7 years to think this through. And instead of taking the correct approaches to developing a good story game, like you've made with the first game, you've decided to think, I wonder what would happen if I kill off my main characters that we've used for the first game that became a pop icon. Maybe it's going to be shocking to my fan base if I kill them off. Yeah,
and there's a way to do it. And there's a way to do it, and Nikos and I have talked about it, and I've said my opinion on how to do it right. There is a way to do this game justice. It's all in the wrong fucking places. We should be playing the backstory that leads up to Joel's death. We should see it from his perspective of how he dies. That is how that game should go. We should be following Ellie trying to figure out how the fuck Joel died. To get to the point of the realization of who did it, how it happened, and why it happened. Over all the time, over the course of the game, and we get to see how these events actually happen. But that's not going to happen because he doesn't. He tried to make Pulp Fiction the game. That's what it's Pulp Fiction the game. You're asking several thousand questions, but at the end you have to just go with the flow and hopefully it makes sense. No. Pulp Fiction was a one-time, is a one game. It's the one movie in the world, game. The one movie in the goddamn world that can get away with that. And that's because it was well put together and was picked apart in such a way that it made you keep going back to it to figure out where everything is placed. Because it actually kept your fucking brain thinking. Now, this dumb piece of shit decides to do the same conceptual idea and instead completely forgets the point.
It just rushes to the point where we have to kill off Joel so we can create the suspense that will reinvigorate or at least or try to create this whole revenge cycle story. But the thing is, you did it too early. This is the game.
Nikos, we knew the end of the game a day after it came out. People were already talking about the ending a day after it came out.
And it's as worse as Joel's death scene.
It's not... I know, we've been harping on this forever, and I hate that we have. I really hate that we have. I fucking hate talking about this so much.
True.
I really wish that I could go back in time a little bit here and say, do not do this. And I know somebody's gonna sit there and say, well, it's gonna be the bad game of 2020. I'm like, 2020 should not have the bad game. 2020 had Animal Crossing, fucking Doom Eternal, and Final Fantasy VII come out, and then this creeps its way out, and it is the awkward fucking sequel to something that was already fine as it was.
It's a game that didn't need a sequel to begin with, but it was created because of hype.
It was created because they didn't know where to go with it. And I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but I think the Phantom Pain had a better collector's edition than this.
Can't disagree with you on that one. It was pretty good.
The Phantom Pain, which I think is a terrible game when it comes to narrative. Good for gameplay, terrible for being a Metal Gear game because it doesn't do anything thought-provoking at all, like every other entry has done. But I cannot believe I can say the words, The Last of Us 2 will be the last major cult success that will be on the PS4, and I really hope something comes by and completely knocks it out of the fucking water.
Oh, there will.
I really hope that there's one last game that will be on the PS4 that will make Last of Us 2 irrelevant.
Forgettable.
Completely forgettable, completely irrelevant, not even worth the time of day. I don't know what that game will be. I don't know when that game will be. But I just hope that there's one game that could finally make the PS4 go out the way it should. Not in a fucking whimper, but in a goddamn bang.
Because if you have the PS5 being released and the last game for the PlayStation 4 to pave way for the PS5 is a game that is literally so terrible in storytelling, it's going to be humiliating. I mean, you have to at least have that one game that how do I say this? Like, the game that'll be the one to shine. The underdog.
The diamond in the rough.
The diamond in the rough. It has to be something deserving.
It needs to be a game that can take what Last of Us 2 was attempting to do and just do it way better. Just do it far superior. So, sure. I'll end it the way that it should. Naughty Dog, you made a very good gameplay-focused game. If you came there for the gameplay, and if you did, I'm glad you found enjoyment with it. But I'll say this right now. This dog has no bite, and only its bark is constantly trying to defend itself.
After what we've seen and read for this game a month and a half ago, we can officially say that this dog needs to be put down.
Thank you for coming out to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I know that this is not the happiest podcast we have ever done. It is the second one of many.
But rest assured, this will be the last topic for Naughty Dog, Neil Druckmann, and The Last of Us 2. If you want to find more information, I suggest you go to other YouTubers like Geeks and Gamer, Pitmaster Broda, any other people that talk about Last of Us. But as far as we're concerned, we just don't want to continue this.
I'm tired. I'm so fucking tired of it at this point. I can't believe I've talked about a game this long. I would rather go back to saying, hey, remember when FF7 came out and it was the fucking sickest thing ever, and it still is as good as I remember it being?
Yes.
I really wish this game just didn't come out. I wish they had more time. I wish Sony sat down and fucking had a discussion with Naughty Dog going, what happened? What is this? Is this supposed to be thought-provoking? Because it's not. It's very
it takes
lazy.
your thoughts away as well as your mind away in an idiocracy type of ideology. But as far as gameplay and cutscene, it's fine, it's great, spectacular. But thought-provoking wise in this game, not so much.
So let's end it with this, and this will be the last thing we'll say on it. This will be the last that we will talk about The Last of Us. We're done with it. We're not talking about it anymore. Neither Druckmann and his bunch of very naughty, I'm not even going to go naughty, very pissed off puppies have officially made my least favorite game of the decade.
Indeed. So Naughty Dog and Cuckmann, please, for the best of us, just stay quiet. We really don't want to hear from you. We don't want to deal with you. It would be best if you just not come out again for any reason. Not even for Crash Bandicoot 4. Because I know somehow you're going to fuck that up.
No, that'll be fun. Don't worry about that game. That game will be fun.
At least that's an impossible these naughty dogs, there's that one good dog.
Yeah, well, one can hope. Thank you for joining the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope that you did enjoy this episode, at least to some extent. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm not going to do the James thing of constantly plugging that in every single part of the video because, let's be honest, do it once and you're done. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you another time.
Take care. God bless you, everyone.